Hello guys, and for the last time Wixo has restarted because I will be saving it during the video. But this time we'll be starting in the Americas because I feel like that will be for a more interesting scenario. So we will be starting here on the Yucatan Peninsula. Oop. Now, Yucatan. So the red team will form in the jungles of the Yucatan and will begin claiming massive amounts of territory and will go into Mexico as well, claiming Mexico City, which doesn't actually exist. Now, how I'm going to do provinces in this one is if a new country is created or a country takes land, I'll draw the provinces of how the borders were before that so that they can take the land. And yeah, and so that that border can be restored easily if I need to. The red team will quickly begin expanding up into Mexico and will decide to go over here when they see the Rio Grande River and will go into Texas and Louisiana. Now, this is very, very big for an empire that is new. However, ha ha ha, you thought I was gonna just start in North America because that's what I said. But actually, I was lying. We were going to be starting with one country on each continent. So we'll have the blue down here in South America on their little island. We'll have the dark green in France. We'll have the purple in Western Sahara. And for the last two, we'll have the yellow in Qatar. And the let's see, what color can I use? Orange, I guess, in Oceania, specifically Indonesia. So these are our 6 civilizations, as Antarctica is not on this map, and also Antarctica would not work for this. I think they like Antarctica used to be here, but then they removed it. That's what it seems like to me, but because like the tail of South America is so close up to the bottom. But anyway, a country that splits away from its country will be like sort of the same, like a close to it, so that we can easily tell which country split from which country, if you understand my meaning. Also, sorry, if the you sometimes I'm talking about something that's not on the screen because I'm gonna try to edit this one, and I'm not sure if because I'm gonna have to cut out what's on the edges so you can't see like all the workings of Paint.net. But hopefully that doesn't mess anything up about what I'm doing. But, but anyway, the red team will continue expanding until it has its first split off, and it will actually be here in Florida, who they feel they aren't very good connected, well connected to the red, and so they will split off. Now, you might be saying, hey, wait a minute, that's not true. They can just sail across the Gulf of Mexico. And to that, I would say no, because they don't have good boats. But anyway, the provinces of this thing are going to look a lot like Christmas. not like this. Oh, and if so, in a bit, I'm gonna do a Halloween video for like a special for Halloween. Now, I understand that by now it's probably like it's not going to happen with getting 100 by 2026, but I'm still going to try, despite it not gonna happen. But anyway, aside from that, these are the old provinces of the red team that the Floridian team has taken with them. So there you can see that. And anyway, back to the red team, who is still collapsing. And we'll show you why. So first, this country broke off from the red team. We'll draw in all these ones provinces in a second. Now this cut off this area, which would break away from the red team. Now, a lot of these purple-red breakaway states are going to be similarly colored, and I don't know how to fix that, so sorry. And finally, it will be this state in the Holy Land. It's close to the Holy Lands that will break away, officially completing the collapse of the red team. Hopefully all of that was in camera because I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, these things borders. Don't know why I used 2 over here. That's fine. It's just gonna be 2. These things borders, of course, they're all the old red teams borders, and that provinces will look like that. The pink team will, of course, allow for its country to be able to take it over once again. So it will have these provincial borders. And finally, the Louisiana country. Hmm. We'll have this amount of borders. Now, let's take a break from... Oh, wait, I didn't actually do any provinces for this. I just drew the northern border. Let's take a break from North America and go to the island of South America, where they are already beginning to realize their situation and expand out over into Brazil. Now, obviously, they're going to go along this coast because, well, it will have easier lands in it. So they go along the coast and discover some coastal things. Snaking down the coast. I'm saying coast a lot there. Until they reach the southern edge of the Brazilian coast and go down into the Uruguay. I was about to say Uruguayan coast there. This is very large for an early empire, and so some of their old land is going to start to break away, starting with the bluish purple nation, which is very undistinguishable from the blue, and you know what, I'm going to say that one for the purple. The dark blue, oh wait, the dark blue state, which will break away, up until this point. There's just some weird. There. Anyway, so the blue will begin to lose territory. Sorry. Starting with their oldest ter- I don't know why I need to cough all of a sudden. It's starting with their oldest territory, the territory to begin the world, and moving down the Brazilian coastline. Coast. Coast. However, once the territory starts to get into range of the blue, it's just okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The final area to break away will be this country down here in Uruguay until the blue has lost a lot of the land it just recently gained. Now is just land that recently gained. Now, of course, we must now draw in these statuses. We don't need to do any for the blue because they just don't need to. Ooh, ooh. Now, obviously, this island is the most ancientest island on Brazil. Actually, it might even be younger than the Brazil, but the rest of the continent. But it's the oldest known island. Okay, we need to complete. It is provincial borders. Ooh, 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 ooh. But so Brazil and the red team, like any good ancient empire, have already begun to collapse. And that is because that just really in these times you can't control an empire as large as both of them had made. Oh, I'm going too far. But neither of them have reacted yet to these collapses. I'm realizing I probably should have put the yellow country somewhere that is not in Qatar. So that is what I will be doing. Because that's kind of close to Europe and that's kind of close to Africa. And we want different civilizations here. So I'm gonna be putting it to the north of this ultimate lake. And also to the south of it. Anyway, we'll be starting over here in the whatever this area is called. Europe, France. Where the French country has already begun to claim some French things, moving down and pushing against both the Pyrenees and the Alp mountains, basically making their southern border look like France. However, there's no natural boundary keeping them from going north. Well, obviously there's like rivers, but they can cross rivers by this point, just not like oceans and lakes. And well, they can probably cross lakes too, but well, not two big lakes, but some lakes. Or like lakes. Lakes that will look like ponds compared to the lakes that you can see on this map. Like that one the yellow team is based around. They will quickly expand to cover all of Europe, and now they begin to look like Napoleonic France. They will begin to expand into Spain, and they will do what no other country has done, and also what Napoleon couldn't, and will land in Britain and take over the British Isles because they have developed the best ocean technology that any country has so far. They also discovered the Isle of Man and Ireland because these are all close enough to Britain that they wouldn't need to cross things. Like they couldn't cross the channel from Brittany to Cornwall, but they can cross it from Calais to whatever this area of England is called, and they can cross it from here or there because they'd stop in the Isle of Man and stuff. But anyway, France has already become way too large for its time as it slips past the Alps and discovers the entirety of Italy. So immediately some things don't check out for it. So as they discover the rest of Italy, some bad things happen. The area to the south of the Pyrenees will become the Lime team. Ireland will become the whatever this color is, the sick green team. The Northern England and the Isle of Man will become this team. Don't ask what the this is. Become the light green team in most of the remains of England. They're going to leave the French, not Franco-Germans, the French with control of this. And yes. However, another light green team, which is similar in color to this, will pop up in Marseille, which is actually connected to France, like without any boundaries, so that's kind of weird. But they will also control northern Italy. And then I begin to believe that this country has had the most splits. Southern Italy will be this color. Now, eventually, as the countries start to begin to split from countries that split from the country, they'll start getting less and less green, for example. This one. But anyway, the French country will be left with this. As we draw up provinces. Ooh, 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 ooh. So I did the provinces for Europe. And now this is currently my goodbye. Oh no. We included the black. Oh my gosh. This is an error. But it is easily fixable. Now, obviously, I am not, and I repeat, not doing all those things that I did. So I have a better solution. We are just going to color it in as if it was part of the country. And I can draw the provinces later off camera. Hopefully I didn't do that for anyone else. I did. Well, that is also easily fixable. Anyway, I'll continue this off camera. So maybe now some of these South American nations are a little thicker than they used to be, but uh, yeah. The only other one that I did seems to be this little one in Asia. Ooh, 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 ooh. That is easily undoable. However, there we go. And this is Europe, as you know it. And we're gonna do a little expansion for the others, but we'll focus more on those ones next time. So the purple will quickly say, hey, 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 and claim the rest of the world, taking over these. Just kidding, those are too far. They will claim a good portion of the coast. The coast. However, they will not claim those islands, but they will find the Canaries. However, these will shortly revolt. And this is not blue, that is a different color. And the purple will expand north towards Morocco. That's what it's. And the yellow will make like their ancestors who don't exist and expand north, touching this lake, which is Kazakhstan. They will quickly claim the lake and decide that they want to be the most giantest country in the world and will begin expanding in all directions. They decide that they want to conquer the world. And we'll see how well that works out for them. Well, they can certainly conquer most of Asia without any resistance. But once they get to the other countries, we'll see what happens with there. But they will expand in all directions for now, and miraculously not fall apart. Probably because new countries out of that would look horrible. The orange will continue its expansive claim over all of Borneo, which isn't actually very expansive, and they will claim the island, and then they will discover these islands and island hop their way to the southern Philippines. And they will continue island hopping up until they discovered and claimed most of the Philippines. Down here in the Celebes, they will also discover the northern part. However, they won't go south. That will do it for today's episode of What If Civilization Started Over. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe so we can reach 100 subscribers by 2026. And like, because it will help the algorithm to show the people my videos, and also comment. And I'll see you next time.